Not happy. Not happy. Oh my gosh. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Joe Daddy's Garage and the Thursday afternoon chat. Yeah. Anyway, when I'm here and we're doing this, we try to focus on classic cars, Mustangs, Camaros, the like, and talk about them. Any ideas or questions or comments we try to address, and keep things moving as best we can. I do also do this on Monday nights at 7 p.m. So if you want to check in for that, that would be great too. But for now, I am here, and as you can see, I have my main garage door open because I wanted to get some light in here so you could see what's going on maybe with Jade. You probably saw the video that I posted earlier, little video short, talking about the problem with the paint on the car. Not good. Not good. I'm going to be repainting the whole car. I'll just put it to you like that. I've had people suggest, because of what I found in the door and stuff, that could you reshoot the door and the fender, blend, blah, blah, blah. No. Nope. Not going to happen. Talked to my PPG rep. He's painted cars for years and years and years. He said the best thing you can do is scuff the clear, reshoot it, and reshoot the base and reshoot clear again, because you'll never get it to look right. And I agree. If it was a collision job, in a body shop, yeah, blend the paint, trick the eye, and just move on. But in this case, because of what this car is, what it means, and all the effort that's gone into it, I can't shortcut the paint. Can't. This is why I don't like painting. I've said it before. I don't like to paint. I can paint. I mean, I've laid it out. You can see, the paint itself looks great. The clear coat looks fantastic. But, make one little misjudgment on a certain color and you're going backwards. If this car was black or something like that, easy. Reshoot it. But reshoot the bottom half, whatever the car, not worry about it. But at this point, I'm already starting to prep. I've already ordered materials, and it is what it is. So we'll see who's here. We have Greg's Workshop checking in. I'm glad you're here. Ben, cryptic message. Are you shooting the paint again or the video? I might just shoot the paint again. I don't know if I'm going to reshoot a video on it. I might. I don't know yet. Because what I'm going to do different with this round, different. I'm not going to respray the jams or around the trunk lid or, the front half of the cowl. I'm not going to respray all that. I'm going to prep all the panels. They're going to be bolted on the car this time. The hood, deck lid, fenders, everything is going to be attached. And then I will add foam between all the gaps on the backside, so that whenever the paint is sprayed and the clear, it's not going to go into the jams. It'll kind of have a soft edge at the gaps. I don't want to go through the process of redoing all the jams and all that stuff. It's really not worth it. It'll be fine, but that's where I'm at. Brian, looking forward to another great episode of Barry's Blue, I guess Mustang. Not Mustang. LOL, hope everyone is doing well. Yep. Rick Stevenson checking in. JT 73 Dodge Challenger Condension back for another live chat. Sorry to hear about you have to reshoot the car or just the door. Nope. The whole car. Because the thing is, this paint is awesome. The color is awesome. And I think if you have, I've seen it before. You can see a car going down the road. It's been to a collision shop where they've resprayed the fender and the door because of a damage, area. And I can see it every time, the difference between the colors. And so even spraying clear coat is going to change color of a vehicle. If you spray one area if you had like factory clear coat, let's say on a Honda, and you blended and went over that old clear coat as a scuff and shoot, that second color you did not, the area where you did not color, but you just shot the clear, it's going to change the color. It's just the nature of the beast. So I will be redoing everything, basically. But I'll be doing it with the deck lid and the hood, doors, fenders on the car, like I said. And that will allow for a more consistent color flow, and even the clear coat will be more consistent. So nowhere near what I wanted to be doing right now, because I rolled it outside today with the idea that I was looking to start on the headliner. I was thinking I'm going to put the headliner in and progress from there. And I got it outside and I noticed the door, because I had it in other shots. I had it facing the other direction, and the sun was hitting it on the passenger side. And the passenger side, I think, is fine. I don't see any real issues over there. But today I had it turned around the other way, and the sun hit it on the driver's side, and it just, that door just popped with bad color. And I realized that not only is the door light in the middle, I don't know if you can see it or not. For certain angles, it might show up better. But not only is the door light all through here, but it's actually kind of dark up here. And I realized I've seen it before, and I tried to purposefully not do this, but you'll see people want to spray like the jam, right? And they'll blow an extra coat of color over the jam, thinking they're doing something right. Well, I didn't intentionally do that at all up here. I don't know what happened. Like if my pattern stopped, and then when I restarted, I didn't realize that I stopped here and I restarted here. So it just left this hollow area right here in the middle. Let me tell you, this car's slick right now. It is slick as can be. So as you can see, I actually have the door handles on it, and it is what it is. But y'all know me. I can't live with it being this way. I can't. I just can't. Can't do it. Can't do it. Nandu, good afternoon, Barry and everybody. Glad you're here. Stang Boy 75, hello from Los Angeles. Glad you're here. Leonard, afternoon all. How's everybody doing? Jade is looking good. Yeah. So much for looking good. Exactly. Let's see. Where are we at? Rusty's Mustang Garage. Good afternoon. My heart hurts over this. Trust me. I've spent, I don't know how many days now that I've been color sanding and buffing and redoing, little things, and just making sure everything's right. Because I did it all while I was in the booth. I didn't roll it out, because I know it needed to be color sanded and buffed. And in the paint booth, the color looked fine. But when I got out in the sunlight, that door, Well, and here's the good thing. I say good thing. Yeah, I try to look at things in a positive light. You know that. I don't try to focus on. I spent 20 minutes or so beating myself up for making a mistake. Communicate with some people, talk to my PPG rep, talk to Harvey, several others, and the consensus, was don't beat yourself up over it, of course, but that's easy to say, right? But they also were, encouraging, like, you can fix this and make it right. And I know that. But I also know that there are some areas that I wasn't satisfied with anyway. Just put it that way. I know there's some areas that, looking over the car and being as meticulous as I am with this stuff, I found some stuff and I'm like, I can let it go. I can let that go because I know it's not that big a deal. But now that I have I don't want to call it an excuse, but it is in a sense, that big light area on the door. It allows me to fix all those other things. So I'm going to be hustling to get everything done. And I mean, get everything prepped and back in the booth. Now I did order more paint, more clear coat, the foam, reducer, all the stuff that I'm going to need. So that'll be coming. Add it to the list, right? Let's see, Rick. Really sorry to hear about the paint problems. Yeah. Yep. Crash Rider came from Southern Indiana. I think I better check the comments for update. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I just, yeah. Still showing a Wi-Fi function. I don't know. I don't understand this. Sergeant's RC Adventure. Sergeant J's RC Adventure. What's up, my friends? I'm glad you're here. Jorge, hello from New Jersey. Glad you're here. Marshall. Hated to hear about the paint not working out. What would you do differently to prevent this from happening again? Well, there's a variety of things that you can do. There's a variety of things. Probably one of the downfalls that I did. I'm hoping this Wi-Fi catches back up. I hope I'm not too glitchy right now. One of the downfalls, I think, was we all operate on a budget, right, of some sort. And I know that I've mixed up paint and like sprayed two containers of paint, and then come back inside the main shop and remixed more paint in those same containers. Now, whether that really affected anything, no, I don't think so. But what it may have affected was my timing. Whenever I'm back in the booth and was like, "What did I leave off?" type of thing. So this is why, and I said before when I was doing all this, I did not film. I didn't want to film all this going on because I didn't want to be distracted by the camera and that sort of thing. So I may have, again, not paid particular attention to where I stopped my pattern. And when I went back in, I may have skipped over that. And it may only take one time that I went over that and missed it. And then, of course, it wouldn't matter what I did afterwards because the color layers are now offset. So, man, I don't know. There's just probably a variety of things. And again, because I started off painting with the fenders on the car, sprayed that, and then I took them off to clear coat. That may or may not have affected how it turned out because, when you're spraying and you're come to a stop somewhere, I very well may have been focused on the fender, spray the fender, and I need to get this off the car. And then, again, distracted, continued on, and thought that I'd come further onto the door. And I didn't. Like in here, in the dark, it's fantastic. Normal people wouldn't see it. I can see it inside here. I don't know if I probably can't get enough light on it to make it appear like that as it is. Anyway, that's where I'm at. So, what else am I going to say? Anyway, I'm going to have to start over. Essentially, start over. Reprep everything, put it all back together, and shoot. Crash Driver Bummer. I hate doing things that seem to take much longer. It's extremely frustrating, extra cost and time. Never a good thing. Yeah. Well, and the thing is too that I was really pretty happy with the color sand and buff. I'd worked out. There were some runs. There were actually some runs down here on the quarter right there. And I made a video on how to get those out. And those came out okay. And then I buffed it and finished it. And I was like, man. I was like putting on door handles, ready to go. Got some packages from NPD, and things are looking pretty good, but I can't live with it the way it is. Can't. Wayne, what about walking in the car while spraying? Like when you spray candy paint, it wouldn't build up on the edge of the panels and be more consistent with the metallic. Yeah, that's a great idea. Yes, and that's ideally what I should have been doing. But I guess, I mean, because the rest of the car, the color looks fantastic. The flow pattern's all good. You know, no stripes, no tiger stripes. But I do know, like I said, there's a few things that I want to fix. And I'll bring this up because, well, it's worth talking about. Whenever, let me get a drink of coffee first. Hang on. I've said this before, and yeah, Jorge, I know it's something with my laptop, honestly. I've said this before. Whenever you're using or prepping a car and doing like body filler and stuff like that, and you've seen it on TV shows where they'll take filler and cover the whole panel. They'll just cover the whole thing. And there's a reason for that. And I know it, and I even probably did it wrong on this car. On the passenger side quarter panel, somewhere like right about that area on the quarter panel, there was a dent. That dent was when it pulled out of the box. And I thought, I'll just fix that dent. No big deal. Well, I did. I mean, I actually hammered it out put a little filler on it, sanded it, and finished it. Well, the reality was that not only did I, fix it, supposedly it all looks good, right? But after block sanding it, on top, had epoxy on the car, block sanding, filler, high build primer, full block sand of that, another round of high build primer, full block sand of that. I can still see where that thing was. I can still see it. Now, most people wouldn't see it, but I can see it. The reason for that was I worked the area like this much and used that filler. However, if I just spread that out more over like the whole panel, like I was saying, like they do on TV, and you sand out that whole panel, now you've eliminated that shadow of that piece of body filler. Even though I know it's totally flush, I know there's no transitions. It's feathered out. It's perfect. I can still see it because of me. But if I had done that over a longer length, it would have hidden it more. Or if I'd done the whole panel and totally block sanded it out, skim coat of filler, that'll hide every imperfection that is in that panel. And you make it all level, all smooth, and you go, okay, now put the paint on or primer on, and it's gone. Keep it in mind when you're doing this stuff. So it's another thing I may be able to address, even though I'm not going to use any more fillers or primers. I'm going to attempt to take a paint stick and just slowly and lightly try to block sand that little tiny imperfection out. It'll be gone, I don't know, but I'm not doing any more body work to it. We'll put it that way. There's another thing that stands out that nobody else would ever see. Ever. Somehow, some way, there's a scratch on the roof. And the scratch is in the base, which makes no sense at all. No sense. Because I had sprayed the base, 3 rounds of base on it, and there's a section about that long where there's just a scratch. Almost like, I wouldn't say like a screwdriver, but something very fine was, I don't know how it got there because there's nothing in the paint besides me and materials in the car. So I know it's there. 99.99% of the people would never see it, but it also gives me a chance to address that. Now it's buried under the clear coat now. So once I prep everything and start spraying color again, it's going to be hidden. It'll be gone. But there's a couple little areas like that that I need to address anyway. So let me see. Dodge, is it paint thickness or the way the metallics laid down? I think it's lack of material. What it comes down to. Lack of material in one spot, you know. Hey, Chris, what's wrong with the paint? Well, I posted a video on YouTube, a quick short video, you know, showing what's wrong with it. You know, basically, it's kind of like if you were, I don't know, it doesn't really show up, I guess, with the lights in here. Opening the door. We can't see it. So, anyway, it's really light in the middle of the door, like a space about that big. Okay. Let's see. Greg, car still looking very good. You did well. Thank you, Greg. Yeah, I can't let it go. I just can't. Samuel Smith, glad you're here. Jorge, very pleased to hear your internet speak up. That looks good. Drink more coffee. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this thing. I really don't. Chris, Barry, I'd still let you repaint my Firebird, but he's still better than what I could do. Well, yeah, thanks. Just watch it. Okay. Well, let me give you some. I don't understand how this Wi-Fi is even trying because I'm in airplane mode. I'm in airplane. The Wi-Fi is turned off. I don't get it. I don't even have Wi-Fi connected, and it's trying to turn it on. Okay. Chris, Barry, can you just take the door off and repaint the door? No. It's all you do is compound the problem because the color is so semi-translucent in a sense. If I add more color to the door itself and then re-clear it, now it's going to get even worse. It's going to make it even more pronounced. So, Dave just got here a minute ago. Now I understand why you wanted to respray this whole thing. Yeah, you get the first Dave bell too. Southern Prep, are you going to strip it all back down? No. Nope. I am going to prep what's here. Clear coat acts as a perfect sealer. If you got clear down and you prep on top of the clear, you can spray right on top of the clear. It'll be fine. So I'm not stripping everything back down. In fact, well, we'll say this. I already started on the deck lid and the hood because they were so chunky, you know. I'm already knocking those down, getting those smooth in preparation. Now I will take I'll go over some of the little areas that I may have to try to finesse, make just a little better for my purposes. But I will. I lost my train of thought. I saw a UPS truck, and I was thinking they were going to back in my driveway. But anyway, I'm not going to strip it all back down. I'm just going to work from the clear coat that I have. Oh, the deck lid and the hood. I'm sanding those down with 400 right now. I started with 400 on a DA, knocking those down. I'm block sanding those out with various grits of higher end sandpaper. And then I will use, for the car, I will go over it with 800 on a DA interface with an interface pad in between, which is a soft, squishy pad. That way it helps keep from digging in any edges or corners. So 800 the whole car, and then reshoot. Marshall Moman tells me that the problem on the driver's side are way worse than the passenger side because you'll see it every time in the car, just the way it works out. Something. Yep. Yeah. I mean, and I know as soon as I saw it out in the sun and it hit it on that driver's door this morning. I was sick. Because this thing it turned out so slick overall. I mean, you can see it in reflection. I mean, you've seen the videos and all the stuff I posted. Although I did like one of the comments, I forget who it was, Nick, I think maybe somebody commented on my little video, put a number on it, turn it into look like a race car. I was like, that's a good idea. I could do that. Wouldn't bother me. We have our second Dave sighting, Dave Conville. Glad you're here. Oh, let me go to some good news. How about that? Let's switch up and go to some good news. I placed some orders with NPD, right? I got some boxes in. Now, one of the things I ordered was this dual cone speaker for the dash. And I'm going to point out that the dash, Jorge, buried the paint will look great at 80 miles per hour. Yeah, it will. But I wanted to, before this happened, I was going to, get the dash pad in place, start putting things together, and I realized I don't have a good speaker up in that dash. So I bought one of these, dual cone speaker. So that'll go in. I did get some vapor barrier or vapor sheets for the doors and the quarter. So that's a good thing. I did get my little vents or window seals for the quarter vents or quarter windows. So, and these are Dan Carpenter too. That's good stuff there. Dan Carpenter. I did get I got like little grommets for the door locks. It goes in in the door up on top. I got to show you this if I can get it out of here. So, I think I mentioned I was looking for steering wheels. And I was like, what am I going to get? I decided to go with Corso. This is pretty nice. I like this wheel. I had thought about doing the wood grain, but then I was like, I don't have anything else that's in the car. Anything else in the car that's wood grain. So this is the steering wheel I got. Leather wrapped. Really nice. I like it. And when you get one of these, you have to get an adapter. So they sell it. Scott Drake sells the adapter for it, and it's this big chunk of aluminum. Really nice, actually. So that has to go on. Attaches to that. I didn't even look. I may shortchange myself. I thought about it. I don't have the cap. I have to look for the cap. I didn't realize that. Now that I see this for the horn button, I guess maybe I assumed it would come with it, but something else I'll have to get. The other thing, I got new window cranks, but also I didn't even pull this out of the box yet because we got one of these. This goes between the back seat and your trunk. And supposedly, if you take this and you run screws into it, it'll help stiffen up the car. So this is going to go in the back. There's some other stuff that I've ordered. I don't even remember what all. I know I got new window cranks, and there's a package shelf in here somewhere. In fact, it might be in this box that showed up today. So I'll have to and get a look at it. Let's see. Chris, placed my MPT order and now waiting for my windshield to be delivered. Okay, good. Dave, slick, easy to look at. Yep. Dale, how does that fit with the turn signal? You know what? I didn't check it because I don't think I need to. The reason for that, whenever I was comparing that steering wheel, if you can see in the car here, I don't know if I can get the door open. Nah, you probably can't see it very well, can you? But this steering wheel, you know, your turn signal rod clears this big steering wheel, but that other one with the spacer, you know, it adds a space above, and then your wheel goes on. I think it's going to clear fine. I haven't tested it yet, but that's a good question. I'll have to check that out later on, but I'm pretty sure it's going to clear. Just saying. Greg Barry, that will be good on car. Yes. Jorge, nice wheel. Yeah, I like it. Yep. Oh, and I have some other, I'll say, good news. I think I commented, I don't know, it was on Monday night. I mentioned about a console, you know, about how expensive the consoles are for these cars. Well, I was talking about it with Roger, my neighbor, and he said, well, how bad is your console? And I said, you know, I don't know for sure. I haven't really looked at it, but let me show you this. When I first looked at this thing, I thought, man, this seems pretty rough looking, pretty crusty. I thought maybe it was in worse shape because it was just so covered in junk. And we started looking at it, come to realize with a little wiping, the padding is perfect. It's going to clean up just fine. So I'll have to probably re-detail the black and stuff. But overall, this centerpiece is good. The main carry piece is good. The only problem I'm going to have, and I'll show you that too, and I'm sure they sell these. I haven't researched it yet, but I have this piece, you know, with the sliding door, which I just thought that was really cool. This little design they have in there with that door that retracts. It's kind of cool. So I have this piece, but I think this piece is toast. If you look at it, it's separated up here. I don't know that could be salvaged. If anybody knows for sure, I'm assuming they make these. I'm assuming, but I have not researched it yet. But if they do, then I'm good. I can put in this piece, be done with it. Because I don't think that's going to want to stretch back up where it belongs. Like I said, these are all covered in gooey junk too, by the way. Not sure why. Let's see. So, okay, so Chris Greenaway says he's done for today. Crash Rider, that was weird. Your JD's logo showed up on screen for a second or two, and then you came back on, and the picture and sound cleared up. Okay. I don't know what's going on with this thing. I originally bought some of these Tubbo towels, these wipes. They work pretty good. It works pretty good. So, what else is going on out there? Anybody got any updates on their projects? I know. Let me see if I have. Hold on a second. Where's it at? Okay. Nothing else going on. So anyway, you get the idea. I'm going to be redoing everything that I've just done. You know, and I don't know that I'm going to have 2 videos to put out. One is going to be the buffing process, which I've already have all that documented. So that'll be, I have to edit it and hope to have that out tomorrow. The other one is a video on block sanding or removing the runs in the clear coat. You know, that one, it turned out pretty good. So that'll probably be next week. But I don't know, honestly, if I'm going to spend a lot of time filming all the extra work that I'm doing as far as getting this car ready to go. I might film whenever I start prepping for paint as a final prep and putting in the foam and, you know, that sort of thing. But I don't want to film all the process again. It's kind of repetitive, but we'll see. Ricard, Auto Gas Garage checking in. Greetings from Sweden. Glad you're here. Jorge, just trying to sell my house. Okay. Leonard, yeah, looking for a crank for my 429. So anybody have a crankshaft for 429? Let Leonard know. Rick, back of my car is tacked together. Fitment is supposed to be done and finished welding will be done, but he pulled the guy out to work on a Kia. Nice. Yeah, they have your best interest, Rick. And Rick Stevenson, are you going to film the redo? I'll probably film some of it. You know, I just, I don't know. I want to focus on getting everything prepped. And again, I don't mind filming some of that, but it may be just kind of tedious. But I'll probably do something whenever it comes, you know, final prep and spray. I'll probably come up with something, put it that way. What I might do in the meantime, because I don't have to spray the jams again or anything like that, depending on what my mood is and where I'm at, you know, with things, I may make a video on putting in the dash pad. Now, whether I actually put it in yet or not, I don't know, but I may make a video on the dash pad. I could do a test fit video on the steering column or the steering wheel, you know, those sort of things. But I'll have to come up with something for sure. Jorge, still moving my shop to Virginia. Can't wait. I'll bet. That's going to be awesome. Rick, where are you, Leonard? I have a good crank. So there you go, Leonard. Rick Stevenson has a crankshaft for you. Leonard's out in the desert. And Rick, I think you're what, in Florida? So I don't know what it would take to get connected on that, but Rick has a crankshaft. What else was there I was going to tell you? Oh, I'd gone to the car show this past weekend. And really not to get, I don't know, sometimes I'd like to see what's going on and get some motivation. There were 2 '69 Mustangs there. One was a Mach 1. It was red, black stripes, pretty nice looking car, really nice looking car. And then there was a blue one there that was it was kind of almost like I want to say like a street freak type of thing. I don't know. It had really big back tires under it. So I don't know if it was actually, raced as a drag car or anything, but it didn't look like drag slicks. So, okay. So, there were those 2 cars there. And then there was a 68 Fastback there. But it was kind of almost, it wasn't an Eleanor clone, but it was similar to an Eleanor type of car. I said the E word. It was the Edith car, similar to the Edith looking Mustang. Okay, so I say Rick and Leonard are communicating, I think. Sammy Lisa Smith, will you give the part number of the wheel and the adapter we'll get it one piece at a time, and it will cost all the dimes. Yeah, I can. I'll have to. I mean, you want numbers like now, or do you want it after I test fit things? Because I know that there's some comments were made on different steering wheels that if you had an interference fit with the turn signal switch or turn signal lever, that you would have to buy a shorter or some sort of different type of shorter stick. So there's a bunch of numbers on here. It says I don't know which number. There's like a whole bunch of numbers. I think the adapter number is NPD 2357JS. I think that's the adapter number because there's a whole bunch of numbers in this little sticker. I mean, it's got a. I don't know. I'll post it somewhere. I'll post all that information. Again, there's all kinds of different numbers on this steering wheel. I think the NPD number is 0310JS. I could be wrong though, but anyway, I'll post that information in the future when I get more into it. Marshall, steering wheel looks just like the one I got from my car. It's a Lacara. Don't like the small gap it leaves, but I think there's a sleeve. I'm hoping I can move it down. Well, you know, I actually had taken the adapter, this adapter. I took off the steering wheel and I slipped it on. There was no gap. There was no gap. So I don't know if could be a variance between the steering columns or how high the shaft is type of thing. Because I know there were comments made that you may have interference problems too. Like it could be too low and you'd have to do something with the face of the steering wheel or, column. So that may be something else. Now, when I did the conversion to the power steering, no, that shouldn't have changed anything because I did shorten the compression shaft, or where the lower portion goes into the compression sleeve at the bottom. I did shorten that up in order to connect everything, but that shouldn't have affected the upper shaft. So it could just be the way they're made. Jorge, hey, did you see the new Ford F-150 Lightning? I have not. Is it electric this time? Lightning, electric. Jorge, I was going to watch it last night. Lost phone service. Oh. Okay. So they had a premiere or something? A reveal type of thing? So I haven't kept up with a lot with the new car things coming out. Once they come out with the ugly Mustang, the SUV Mustang, I don't want to see anything else. Although, Jorge, I will say this. I did see a video clip, I think it was on TikTok, where the guy in the White House, was driving some sort of F-150 around a parking lot. And it was funny because they said that he was driving the vehicle, like actually he was driving it. And the video clip showed that he wasn't driving it. They actually had him in the driver's seat. And it was like, you have remember like the little kids' toys where you'd have a fake steering wheel that you'd put on the back seat of a car or something and they could pretend that they were driving. That's what they did with the man in the White House. So they had him sitting in this truck, and it had all the camouflage on it, so you couldn't tell what it was. But he had him sitting in this truck, and the truck drives around, and there's a guy in the passenger seat. And when you look and you see the camera, they try to hide it, but the camera footage shows there's a guy in the passenger seat. He's actually driving the truck, And the guy in the White House, he has basically a dummy dash in front of him. And so while he's sitting there trying to answer questions, he's like turning the steering wheel and the wheels aren't turning. And so he was talking to the press and saying, all right, I'm getting ready to take off and get this thing up to 80 miles an hour, blah, blah, blah. And you see him, he takes the wheel and he turns it left and they step on the throttle. I don't know if, I guess it was a V8. I don't know what it was. Step on the throttle and the thing takes off. And he's got this toy steering wheel that they have him playing with so he can't hurt anybody. It's pretty funny. Stein, hi from Norway. It's been a while since I checked in. Been very busy, but unfortunately not with the car. Well, I've been very busy with the car, and I'm going to be even more busy with the car because I'm repainting it. That's how it is. I got to make it right. I can't live with myself to have it looking the way it looks. Even though the rest of it, you know, if you went from from like there back, perfect, but can't do it. Can't do it now. Falsehood from the White House? No, couldn't be. Yeah, well, I'm not. That's why I'm just. It was just funny. I was more interested in the video of the truck, and the guy, the crazy old man driving it. Yeah, Stein. I've had problems with the paint. My fault, not the paint itself. Something I did wrong, and I posted a little video clip on YouTube. But basically, this portion of the door right here, this lower, like a section about that big, is very light in color. And unfortunately, there's no way to just wave a magic wand and add more color and say it looks great. So to make sure everything's going to match, I'm going to repaint the whole car, everything. It's all got to match, or I'll lose my mind. It has to match. So, Jorge, they said JB drove the truck on the test and laid down rubber. Was that BS? Yeah, it was BS. It was BS. It was funny. I mean, I'm watching this little video clip. Like I said, remember those kids? You know, they can have that steering wheel and they can pretend that they were driving around. That's what they were doing. That's what they were doing. Had to pretend. Mason, hey Joe Daddy, your garage door is open. Do you like having it open? I do. When the weather's nice. Yep. When it starts getting hot, nope. Gotta be down. Let's see. Boyce and Stein, just repaint the door. Can't do it. Can't do it. The way the color is on this car, if I added more paint to the door itself, it would just be worse. It would pop out. So you'd have a fender one color and a quarter panel one color, and then the door would be darker actually. So, nope, not taking a chance. Rick, same guy when was VP took off one of Jay Leno's cars. Secret Service wasn't happy. Jay talked about it once. Yeah. Amarante, hey Bear, do you have to paint the whole car or just the door? I'm going to do the whole car. I can't, you know, because the color, I can't say translucent is the right word, but because of the way it is, it's one of those things where, like, if it was black, just reshoot it, you know, fix the area, reshoot it, you're good. But when you've got a very, like, such a interesting color on this car, can't do it. Jorge, that's funny. Yep. I'm going to say, oh, okay, the whole car then. Yeah. Because here's another thing I'm concerned with. You know, I painted the hood and the deck lid, and although I'm confident they match what's on the car color-wise, I have to redo everything. Because if I touch up anything on the car, it's going to throw off the color somewhere else. Start from zero, get all the color the same, and be done with it. So that's what I'm going to do. Mason, is it nice right now? Well, yeah. Seems to be. Seems to be. Stein, sand it down to bare metal again. Nope. I will prep the clear coat. I'm going to spray on top of the clear coat. So I will eliminate any little flaws that I can find in the clear coat. Sand it with 800. Wipe it down. Reshoot it. Of course, mask it. Get it all prepped. But it'll be. I'm going to do it with the deck lid on the car, the hood on the car, the fenders on the car. So all that will be in place, and then the color will be consistent no matter what. As long as I don't screw up and short myself on one of the flow patterns, everything should come out exactly the same color. Jorge, hey, can you paint the black stripe on part of it? I'm not putting black stripes on it. Wife said no stripes, so no stripes. No stripes. You misspelled that twice, Jorge. Now you got Spripe. Mason, the main part of the shop is how big? I always forget. My grandpa's shop is 16 by 22. This is 24 by 36. 24 by 36. Siberia, what kind of rims are those? I'm thinking about getting like those. They're like torque thrust knockoffs. I actually got these at some guy was selling them on Facebook, and I bought them, tires and wheels and everything. I love them. They look perfect on the car, but the fronts they're 17 by 8 up front and 17 by 9 in the back. Dale, hate to see it, but glad you're doing it right. Love the work ethic. Yeah, thank you. It's torturous, honestly. Roger has been over here and looked at the car, and he's, it looks great, it looks great. I said, I know it looks great, I know, but I also know that I'm so OCD, I guess, that I find a flaw and it just drives me crazy. Mason, you should do a tour of your shop garage sometimes. I plan on doing a tour of my grandpa's shop garage. Okay. I think I've shared enough angles and videos of the shop to be able to kind of see what's going on. You just got to watch all the other videos. Make it easy. Okay, Jorge and Gordon. You just wanted extra practice for your next project. Yeah. If that were only so. If that were only so. Bob Knoll, I got in the room. What's going on with your paint job? I just got in. Okay. The door is light. And what I mean by that is the paint in this area right here, the door, is very light. And I posted a short video on YouTube. Out in the sun, it just stands out like a sore thumb. And I just can't live with it. I have to fix it. Mason Kragers are good wheels. Yep, they are. Crash Fighter, not enough aqua in the pigment. We'll go with that. Greg, got to go, so good night all. Glad you're here, Greg. Have a good night. Nick checking in. How you doing, Nick? Haven't seen you on here in a while. Hope all is well. We were just discussing the fact that I'm repainting this whole car. Yeah. Robert, sorry I'm late. Finished up with daughter's house and took a nap when I got home. Well, that sounds good. Wally, glad to hear you can spray over clear, not take it back down. Still frustrating, though. Yes. Yeah, obviously there's the advantage there that because the car, if the paint job was a year old, I would say you can't do that. I wouldn't even try that. But being that it's only a couple weeks old, it's still good, solid, no flaws in the material or anything like that. And, I'll just have to, it'll act as a sealer, basically. It'll act as a sealer. And I'll be able to address it and get it all right. And like I said, there's a few other little flaws. This really bugs me the most. The other stuff that I found, which is normal, you're going to have, unless you're building $1 million show car or whatever, you're going to find stuff. And also doing it in a home paint booth and whatever. So you're going to find little things. The little things that I found, for the most part, I'm like, okay, I get it. I can live with that. It's there. Not going to worry about it. But now, that door, can't do it. Can't do it. Don't forget the thumbs up. Yeah, thank you, Nick. Wally, do you have to reprime or spray color directly on clear? I'm going to spray color directly on the clear. The clear coat is acting as a sealer. So like if you were painting a car and you did epoxy and then a high build primer, right? And then what you should do is either do a thin coat of high build before paint, ideally, or sealer, which is kind of the same thing, to get all the color variants out, right? So there's no flaws. And then, of course, paint and clear coat. So what I'm doing is I'm with other material underneath it, with the clear coat, that becomes my sealer. So it almost like neutralizes whatever's under it. It should not have really any effect of color after that. The clear coat's going to act as a barrier. Now, granted, you can see through the clear. That's the whole point. But once you start spraying paint on top, it would be just like if you sprayed black on top of clear. It's gonna hide it. It's gonna make it go away. So that's what I'll end up doing. Stein, so did you put on just too little paint on the section of the door? Yeah, I think that's what I did, honestly. Because when I was making my passes, and I kind of mentioned this, I had the fender on the car, and I sprayed the fender and worked my way back to this part of the car, and I was making sure that I completed the fender. And in doing so, I think I was spraying the door, and I kind of like stopped right about here. When I reset to spray again, I think I started spraying, and I just got lazy and didn't coat this area enough. So I just kind of like went over it and just kind of missed it. Now, when you're in a booth and you got goggles on or a mask and all that stuff, it can be easier to miss stuff like that. Anyway, got to really be careful. Take your time. Do it right. Rick, how hard does it tell if you have good coverage when painting same color over same color? Well, the difficulty is you can't really tell. That's why you have to be, they're very careful with that. The way to really tell is when you're wet line. Okay, so when I was spraying that and I stopped, by the time maybe I reset, or maybe I went to the other side of the car. I don't know exactly what I did. I have to see my time lapse, but I may have stepped away or moved on to something else. And when I came back, it was dry and I couldn't tell where I was at, so that could be a problem. So the thing is, at this point, well, and I painted the hood and the deck lid separate to begin with because there's not enough room. And because I wanted to paint the cowl and the inner, around the deck lid and all that stuff, it's easier to do it with off the car. But had I had everything bolted on, maybe might have changed things. I know it's going to change it this time because I'm going to be, I'll have everything on the car. I'll have foam in the gaps, and then make sure that I complete my patterns. Amarante, there's a TV show called Graveyard Cars where they paint every car twice in every restoration. That way they can correct whatever happens in the first paint. I've watched that show. They do some amazing restoration work. I'm nowhere near that level, for what they do, but I get that. It makes sense, actually. I might have been further ahead to think that way. I've actually had people tell me I should have flow coated the clear coat on this car, like, sanded it all smooth and then reshot it with a thinner layer of clear coat. Well, that's okay, except I didn't have any flaws in the clear coat other than tiny bits of dust. So I would maybe have introduced more material in trying to do that flow coat thing. But I can understand what you're saying, that they reshoot the car, may shoot it twice. I get it. It makes sense. Robert, hard to get enough light and the right angle so you can see where the paint actually lies as you spray it. That is true. That is true. And Dave says inspection light can help. Yeah, we used to have one at the body shop. It was a daylight light, and you could look it over. Maybe I'll have to find one of those somewhere. I hate to spend the money on something like that, but compare that to the amount of time you spend redoing something. Is it worth it to get one? Probably. So I may look into a daylight paint light. Boy said, next time don't bother with filming. Focus on the paint job 100%. Yeah, well, and that's just it. I did focus on painting the first time. I even brought that up in the video. I did have my time-lapse camera set up. So this go-around, I may not even have the time-lapse. I don't know yet. But I know I'm going to take a different angle on this because of how I'm going to be spraying and the fact that the hood and the deck will be on the car and all the gaps will be foamed. So hopefully everything goes smooth. But I will also make better mental notes of where I'm at in the process so that I don't miss something. Graveyard Car said they do a pre-spray of color to cover any body work, but Will, the painter, said they weren't going to do any more pre-sprays because they have a better body guy now. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Well, I'm always happy with, I say I'm 99% happy with my paint work or my body work, but I've said it before, I get really anxious when it comes to painting. And I thought I had dodged any kind of bullets with this process until I get it outside, and there it is. Can't hide it. Although I could put numbers on it. I could put a big 68 right there, right? Get all the NASCAR stickers and put all over it. Yeah, Boyson says, and yeah, put your phone, have your phone on airplane mode. Yeah. Let's see. Ben, I think I'll stick to painting the bathroom. Yeah. Probably not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Okay. Well, it's been an hour. We've had some good conversation. Got to share some information. I've got plenty to do right now, so I'm gonna call it a day. I'm glad everybody was here. I'm glad for the comments. I'm glad you're following along. Keep at it. I'll post more stuff. I should have a video out tomorrow, like I said. Yeah, Rick says put your logo on each door. Yeah, good. I don't know if the wife would go for that. But anyway, I'm going to work on a video. Well, I might do it tomorrow, edit it out, and get it up tomorrow. And that's more the buffing process. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, I'm glad you're all over here, and have a good weekend. We'll catch up with you on Monday. But until then, take care of yourselves. See ya.